Hi everybody, my name's Brian, and I'm not feeling great this week. And I couldn't think of a deck I wanted to play, so I decided to take a deck where you actually end up playing your opponent's stuff. Now, some of you might be familiar with this list. This is not a list I made. This is Saffron Olive's list for his Dimir Thieves, but this is the non-budget version. Now, I've made this mistake before. Longtime viewers of this channel who've seen my Simic Snow Stompy video will know that I don't think that Saffron Olive's non-budget lists are as good as his budget lists. And let me tell you a super quick story of where we've come with this, because I originally tried tuning this deck a bit. I wasn't going to run just the list he had online. I thought I could improve it a bit. I tried some things and I was wrong. I was just making it worse and worse and worse, and I'm not entirely sure why. So what I think we'll do is we'll start with his list, and if need be, we'll even go back and play the budget one. Because I don't understand what's going on here. I have theory, but let's get into some games and let's go over the theory. But if you hadn't seen Saffron Olive's video on this, let's go over what's happening here. So we have a whole bunch of cards that steal your opponent's stuff. For example, Siphon Insight, you look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck, you steal a spell, you get to play it later, it also flashes back for 3. Thief of Sanity, hit your opponent, look at the top 3 cards, choose a card, and you can cast that spell. Night Veil Spectre, steal something off the top of their deck. Now, the difference between Siphon Insight, Thief of Sanity, and Night Veil Spectre is these are modern cards, and this guy's all the way back from an earlier stage of Magic. So you actually have to be able to cast the spells with the correct mana color with Night Veil Spectre, whereas Thief of Sanity, Siphon Insight, Xanathar, Gonti, these all, you could just spend whatever type of mana you want. So Gonti, speaking of which, you look at the top 4, you steal something. Hostage Taker, it's like a better Ravenous Chupacabra if you guys are from the Ixalan era. So instead of just killing something outright, you get to steal it, and then if you get to essentially untap, you get to then play their creature. And Xanathar, who stops, he does so much, but he's a 6-drop, so he stops your opponent from playing stuff. You get to look at their top card, you get to play stuff off the top of their library, and spend mana as any color to play those things. So it's a bit of a win more, because he needs to survive an entire turn, essentially, to be useful, because he's a 6-drop. But hey, this is a gimmick deck. This is not something you're going to win any GPs with. This is something you're going to annoy people with, because you're essentially stealing their stuff. So the better your opponent's deck is, the better your deck is. And other than that, standard permission magic, 4 Drown in the Lock, 4 counter spells, 4 Fatal Push, 4 Thought Seize. When I was trying to tune this deck, I added some Inquisitions, and again, I failed so spectacularly, I decided to come back to ground zero before I started recording. 24 lands, keep that in mind later, because when we go in the games, I'll bring up what I think is happening here with these 24 lands. Sideboard, pretty simple, 2 Collective Brutalities. These have kind of fallen out of favor, but boy are they great sometimes, because sometimes you get to 3 for 3 your opponent. A Negate, I tried playing with this as a Dovin's Veto, but it didn't work. A Mystical Dispute, I'm really tempted to turn that into a Spell Pierce. 4 Leyline of the Void, that's another one I'm not sure about, and I'm not sure about it because we have 4 Drown in the Locks. But hey, let's start at ground zero. A Damnation. Again, this might seem interesting that you're playing a Damnation when you're a creature deck. So it seems like a non-bow, but sometimes you do just have to reset the board. 4 Prismatic Endings. Now this is why this has a Hallowed Fountain and a Godless Shrine, so that you could splash 4 Prismatic Ending. Now another thing I tried to do was make this deck Esper, just straight up Esper, but I wasn't having any success with that. In fact, I almost think of cutting the Prismatic Ending and the White Splash because it ends up dealing you so much damage. And finally, 2 Chalices of the Voids. No argument there, those are great. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into the game, because I'm aware that most people skip this part anyway. If you haven't skipped, please remember to subscribe. It's always great to see you guys stick around. But there's just a couple moments with this deck where it's not clicking together. And I'm also well aware it doesn't want to be Esper, it doesn't want to be Dimir, it wants to be Grixis. It wants to be Grixis so bad with Ragavan. If you think about it, Ragavan does everything this deck wants to do, and it would ramp into these 3-drops, these 4-drops, these 6-drops. It would be amazing. But I don't have Ragavan, and I'm not going to buy Ragavan. So let's see what we can do with the cards and the budget in front of us. Yes, I know Ragavan would make this deck instantly better, and you could then have lightning bolts instead of fatal pushes, and you could take the prismatic endings out and put the fatal pushes in the side. But for now, let's just run this a little bit and see how she runs. Join me, won't you? All right, we have our first opponent. They won the die roll, as is tradition here on the Dorgator YouTube channel. Now, another thing I'm kind of looking at here is we have 24 lands. Okay, we got 0 in our opening 7, 2 in our 6, but we can't cast a single card because of Field of Ruin. Let's try this again. Oh, 24 lands in this deck, 3 hands. We've seen 3 mana total. And this kind of plays into what I believe is a problem with this deck. When this was created as we're going to go ahead and keep, and I don't know, we'll put back the stuff we can't play. When this deck was created as a budget deck, the fetches weren't there, obviously, because it was budget. Oh, good, it's Tron. I'm so happy we have 3 fatal pushes in hand and a Thoughtseize versus Tron. Oh boy. When this was created as a budget deck, yeah, go away, Karn. It had so many lands that you were probably going to draw because you weren't fetching them out of the deck and reducing the number of lands in the deck. And I almost think it's making this deck clunky when you have fetches. Now, I'm well aware I don't have any fetches, and our opponent top decked a expedition map, so they're going to be able to just do everything they want. Unfortunately, Hostage Shaker is a 4-drop, and we're not playing Ragavan, so we can't play him on turn 2 to try and steal expedition map and stop them from getting Tron, but here we are. So clearly you get Tron, right? That has to be the answer, and then we fetch at end of turn, because we don't want land, we don't want any of our cards. This deck really has no early threat as well, and I don't even know what it should be. Yep, there's Tron. You got more? No, okay. So next turn there's at least a Thragtusk, or perhaps even more bad news. So we'll get a Watery Grave, and we'll untap, and we'll hope to find anything of relevance. Drown in the Loch. Okay, that's not going to help right now. I mean, unless they cast a 2-drop, which would be amazing. There's Boseiju. I mean, if it's just Thragtusk, I've had worse situations. I mean, now we want to draw lands. No, they got more? Oh, no, Stone 2. Okay. We'll probably scoop soon, just so that they don't see anything. Siphon Insight. I mean, we'll see how big their turn is, if we want to just early scoop. I mean, then again, it's not like we have a ton for Tron on the sideboard anyway. It's Dimir. Yeah, hit us for 5. If he has no follow-up, we'll try the Siphon Insight to try and steal a land. I mean, we're so far behind, though. Trying just for another land? Well, I mean, Sanctum of Ugin, so they're going to try and do something big now. Honestly, if you play something big, you'll be helping me, because then I can just scoop. No, they're just putting a counter on Thragtusk. Sure. We're done. We're done here. We're not going to show them anything. We're not even going to bother with our... we could draw a card and see... Yeah, no, nothing would have happened here. That's ridiculous. Okay, against Tron, normal green Tron. This doesn't take Planeswalkers, so it's not terribly helpful. Prismatic Ending, we can only exile 3-drops, or... Negate's good. Negate's an actual card. The Fatal Pushes are bad, though. They really don't have anything they're aiming at. But, I guess we can bring in a Mystical Dispute, just because it's better, in theory. And we can bring in the 2 Chalices, and if we can get a Chalice down on 1, that stops some of their card draw, but I feel like that's losing. That being said, it's Green Tron and Fatal Pushes just bad. I mean, we have 2 main deck Field of Ruins, and it's not like Dimir would have a ton of anti-Tron stuff anyway, outside of counterspells. We do have 4 counterspells, we do have 4 Drown in the Loch. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. I mean, I suppose it doesn't actually get much better, because we can do our 1-drop turn 1 and try and get rid of his 1-drop, because he'll only get to play 1. Relic of Progenitus, that doesn't actually do anything. The Ancient Stirrings do, so we'll get rid of 1 Ancient Stirrings. He gets to get 1 Ancient Stirrings off. There's nothing we can do about that, but turn 2 we can Chalice, and we could stop his other one. Also, we strand to you know, a relic in his hand, which I guess is something. I suppose because he had 2 Ancient Stirrings, I should have taken one of the bigger things. Oh, but he got an Expedition map, so actually, this works out. There's a Siphon Insight, which might come into play later. At least on this one, if we lose, I can say it was my fault and not the deck's, because that Thoughtseize might have been bad. All right, so we've stranded 2 cards in his hand. He has the Urza's Tower. He can still Sylvan Scrying, though, so still the amount of usefulness that our Chalice has here. Field of Ruin. That's another interesting one. I think he's a minute away from Tron, so we can probably set up here and play Thief of Sanity and hopefully just start taking important things, or more importantly, binning Tron lands. If we can bin all 4 of a Tron land, that'd be great. I mean, maybe you don't play 4 ley lines in the side. You play some number of surgicals, which might be better, especially with Thief of Sanity, which is just pitching stuff into the graveyard. There's the Sylvan Scrying. Okay, so nothing we could do about that. If it's a Tron land, we kind of have to spend we have to spend next turn blowing up a Tron land. But we do get to smash into them first. All right. So because of the way this is worded, we have to look. I mean, we can't play any of these because of Chalice. We did them a favor, unfortunately. I guess it doesn't matter. We'll take Chromatic Sphere because maybe we might actually want to play that later if they blow up everything. From there, we have to blow up something. So what are the chances he drew another tower? Because he searched out the mine. I guess it's just correct to blow up the tower and have him have less of those. So we'll go get, I guess with this hand, a swamp. I'm sure he has a forest. Yeah. So we weren't able to do a ton, but we did a little bit. That Thief of Sanity actually helped our opponent more because I would have loved for him to just sit there and draw 1-drops that he couldn't play. Because now if he goes land Karn the Great Creator, he could just blow up Chalice. Oh no. Of course he had another tower, Brian. You silly person. Why wouldn't he? This is interesting. This is indeed interesting. So I think the first thing we do is we hit with Thief of Sanity. If we can find our own Karn the Great Creator, that's really what we're looking for here. Thraggy, and we get to put 2 Tron lands into the bin, which is good. So. If he gets Karn liberated, that's just kind of game over. I guess we can Gonti and try and put more Tron stuff to the bottom. Because if he has Karn, he has Karn. I guess he would have cast it last turn though, but we can try and steal it before he has it. Again, we're really just is it cast or play? I have to cast it. Okay. So again, we have to take a card we can't cast. Doing our opponent again favors by taking a whole bunch of cards he didn't want anyway. He has his own Thragtusk, which is fine because we have a Death-touching Gonti. We draw a land, we probably just play Thragtusk. Siphon Insight. Well, let's just fly over with Thief. I have to play the card, right? Yeah, I have to cast it. I can't just get a land. Karn liberated, Sylvan Scrying. Get to bin the other 2. Okay, I think we just take Sylvan Scrying, as silly as that is. Gonti can block. We spend 2 mana to Sylvan Scrying. The next turn we play our own Thragtusk, which is probably good. Magic is having a hard time understanding what I'm doing here, trying to play a card with any mana. What works best for us? Because we're just putting it into our hand. I mean, we're not... Are we casting another Thief of Sanity? I guess we could. I mean, we don't need any, like, weird mana. I guess we could just get another swamp. Fine. So, like, we could cast another Thief of Sanity now. I mean, I doubt it'll do much, but it seems better than siphoning Insight against Tron when we only have so many lands. Okay, if he attacks with Thrag, we snap the block with Gaunt. Oh, he doesn't do it. Okay. That's fine by me. Ooh, we found another land. So let's attack with the 2 Thieves of Sanity and see if we can find us a Wormcoil Engine. That'd be neat. We'll take the O-Stone, pitch more Tron lands into the bin. We're not gonna get there. I guess we could take Ugin. That'd be funny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 mana. So I think what we do is just cast Thragtusk. Yay! The deck's doing the thing. Yay! Yeah, and then give our opponent a turn, see what they do. If it's Sylvan Scrying, that's unfortunate. Oh, it's Besage. That's bad. We do get to get a land, though. So, get a island, and then we can Siphon Insight at end of turn. You can Expedition map now? Huh. Yeah, I guess we should have played that second Chalice. So he needs a power plant. We only destroyed 2 power plants, not 3. So his next turn's gonna be big. But we can have an O-Stone. Oh, but Ulamog is indestructible. Huh, that's a thing. That's a problem. Sure. Okay, so clearly we spent too much time doing silly things rather than getting down the thing that stopped him from killing us, but that's me screwing up. That's not the deck, so I'm okay with that. Siphon Insight, a Veil of Summer, and a Sylvan Scrying. So I guess we'll just take Sylvan Scrying. Like, what's our best shout here? Another Siphon Insight. I can tell you it's not that. 7, 8, 9, 10. So they have just enough to do that. We can try and Castle Lochthwain to find the second, or to find just a Field of Ruin, because that's just what's happening in general. Clearly, we should just swing with everything first, though, and see if Thief of Sanity finds us any sort of solution here. I mean, I doubt it. I doubt they would have anything in their deck that would let us murder them. We trade Thrags, which is fine. We'll keep thiefing a bit here. Wormcoil Engine. Another Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Like, we don't have any way of really hurting Ulamog, because he's going to play Ulamog and exile 2 things. So if we play Wormcoil, it just goes away. Versus, I guess we can start playing the clown music with these spheres now. For blue, play one of these. We drew Hostage Taker. Okay! That will actually solve the problem. So he has Karn Liberated and Ulamog in hand. Karn Liberated would be slightly problematic. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, we still have 6 mana. So I guess now we cast Wormcoil Engine and kind of slow roll the Hostage Taker. The Hostage Taker just kind of gets it off the field, which is good. Our opponent's also at 9, which is not, a lot of life. So, he's gonna go, no, okay, so he is going for Ulamog, which is good for us. Yeah, and there's nothing we can do about Sanctum of Ugin, but he can't get rid of enough of our lands to stop us from Hostage Taker. And we'll deal another 4 in the air, maybe 6 if we're lucky. No, because he can just block with Ulamog, so we're just dealing 4 in the air. We'll probably go get Ugin. Actually, we might have all his Ugins. How many Ugins are in the deck? We stole 2 Ugins. So how do you exile? He exiled. We had a Field of Ruin? We had a Field of Ruin. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the footage. If we had a Field of Ruin, I'm an idiot. Huh. I didn't think we had a Field of Ruin. I'm very dumb if we did. Alright, untap. Godless Shrine. So, we could have Sylvan Scrying for it too. I'm bad at magic. Alright, so we Hostage Taker. Oh no, we didn't have a Field of Ruin. He got rid of his Wormcoil Engine. That's what happened. Okay, I'm not that bad at the game. So we stole his Hostage Taker. What did he find? He found his own Wormcoil Engine. Oh boy. What do we do now? We definitely just attack. I assume you block the beast token here. Yeah, try and maintain as much life as possible. What do we find? An Expo map, a Blast Zone, and a Chromatic Star. We haven't played a land, have we? So we'll take Expedition map, because we can blow up one of his lands. We can't, though. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this game. Because we spend 2 mana to go get it, we don't have 2 mana to activate it. He's at 5, he's gonna be able to go get or play Wormcoil Engine. I guess what we do is we play an O-Stone. Play this, tapped. So he plays out a Wormcoil Engine. We have to do something about the Hostage Taker before, yeah. Okay. Well, so what, he just gets rid of Hostage Taker and gets Ulamog back? Okay. Oh boy. I mean, I'm gonna get to hit him again, though. Because I hit him to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. As long as he doesn't kill the Thief of Sanity, we've actually won. Through all my punts, we will have won. Because we'll have Ugin to dome him. So even though I've been playing this so fast and loose, and I've been awful, we might just win this game. We then have to play a third game, but we will have gotten one, guys. We can take that to the bank. Did you win? No, but I beat Tron. I lost to Tron 2-1. Okay, so first thing we do is swing with Thief. We'll just take, or is his mine? Why not? Doesn't matter. Then he's at 3. We cast Ugin. Yay, we did it! we took out the guy with his own stuff. Oh man, you hadn't to put it in the deck. Okay, that's funny. I don't think there's anything else we want to do. I mean, obviously, just having a hand with chalices was amazing. I don't know if we'll be that lucky again, but it is what we're doing here. So let's try that one more time. All right, what do we have here? We have a Thoughtseize, a Drown in the Loch, and then 3 drops. So we turn 1 Thoughtseize, they turn 1 a 1-drop, they turn 2 into Tron. Our opponent mulled, which means they didn't have Tron. If they get Tron with a map, that's bad with this hand. We're gonna try again. Okay, I like this better. I like this a lot better. We'll get rid of Siphon Insight, because unfortunately Tron, all their stuff is so expensive that it's not until the very late game that it's important. So we'll keep this, we'll pitch Siphon Insight, and I mean, they get to play a map. Oh, they play nothing, that's great. All right, so we don't want any more lands. So we'll start with this. Grave, fine. We'll start the game at 15. I'm sure it won't bite me later. A Sylvan Scrying and Ancient Stirrings Tower. Okay, so we're stopping them from Tron for a hot second. For a very hot second. Not a long successful second, just the one we have. Oh, 2 Field of Ruins versus Tron. Let's go. So for now, let's just play Polluted Delta and pass. We really don't want them to draw. We just want them to pass. We don't want them to have a land. They have a Chromatic Star. I think we actually have to counter that. As silly as that sounds, I don't want them drawing cards. So, okay, well, we're going to get our other 2 things anyway, so we'll go get an island, and we'll just negate. All right, now that that's sorted, next turn is definitely just fielding. Oh, no, that's so... Okay, I know what you're thinking, but I still think we blow up. We guarantee they don't have Tron next turn. I think that's just right. As great as that would be. We'll just go get a swamp. They're going to get a forest. That will allow them to Ancient Stirring, but I'm not terribly afraid of Ancient Stirring right now. Let's see what they get. Another O-Stone. Okay. To me, that means nothing, because it's not a land. So, we play Field of Ruin. We activate Field of Ruin. We get an island, and then we cast Chalice on 1. I think that will have slowed them down enough. Oh, and they don't draw a land. It is Magical Christmas Land. A Gonti. So let's play Gonti, because he gets to steal stuff now versus Thief of Sanity, which is next turn. Guess we'll take Urza's Mind to get it out of the deck. These other cards they can't cast right now. And for the record, neither can we. They found a power plant, which means they get to cast an O-Stone. We don't have any way of stopping O-Stone, but we hopefully can just kind of get out in front of it before they blow up all of our stuff. Also, let's see what we draw here. Okay, so we're drawing too many lands, and this kind of also plays into what I was talking about in the intro, where this deck has no card selection. I mean, it selects cards by selecting your opponent's cards and saying, I would like to play these cards. But, man, you get into these pockets of no lands or all lands, and it feels so bad. Another power plant. And we've already burnt our 2... Walking Ballista on 2. Sure? I mean, I guess it stops them from taking some damage, but I would assume you would just want the O-Stone to do the work for you. We really need, like a Xanathar right now. Castle Lochthwain. I'll take 2 for a redraw. What do we find? 1 mana short. Well, let's force them to do it. Let's force them to do the block and then kill Thief of Sanity. Because they could just, if they take this hit, they could just pump it, and then... Yeah, no, they're not gonna. We were 1 mana away from being able to deal them extra damage, but yeah. What? Where'd that extra damage go? That's weird. Let's take the mine out of the deck. So now there's only 1 mine still in his deck. I mean, he can win without Tron, especially right now where he can just blow up everything. Because he'll get to blow up the Chalice as well, which is kind of unfortunate. Oh, is he just doing it now? Sure. I would have thought you would have done that at the end of my turn, but Castle Lochthwain again. It hurts, but we're not gonna win by doing nothing. Okay, so it's at least something that gets us moving. Let's play the Night Veil Spectre, and we'll Oh, man. If Tron beats us when we've more or less cut them off of Tron, that's going to feel so bad. We know they have one more O-Stone, so they could just do that if they want. Oh, Hostage Taker can take artifacts, can it? Wow. Wow. Is anyone still watching? Is anyone at all still watching this? Because I'm so bad. Okay, well, at least we'll steal that one. Brian, you absolute goof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 5's not 8 or 7. So let's untap. Siphon Insight. Well, we kind of get to do all the things. Oop, no. Let's just start with the attack. All right, what do we steal off the top? Please be another mine. That'd be great. Karn Liberated. So we can play Karn and exile the O-Stone, and then we have a Karn in play versus hostage taking and then playing the O-Stone, and then we have an O-Stone in play. I think Karn's better than us having an O-Stone. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't think he has a way of killing this. So goodbye, O-Stone. And then we get to Siphon Insight on their turn too. That's great. Okay, we want their hand to be just that's unfortunate. I mean, they're away from Tron because we did take quite a bit of their stuff. This is Sylvan Scrying? Like, what do you want green for? Oh no, they're just using their mana effectively. Where's his tower? That's the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 mana. So let's siphon another Karn. Well, I don't want you to have Karn, so I will take your Karn. That seems great to Brian. And then, I mean, Ugin doesn't stop our Karn, which is funny sentence. Chalice. You don't say. So I think first thing we do is we force them to exile something from their hand, because unlike our opponent, we don't have... What did they exile? They have nothing in exile. I'm not sure what happened there. They have nothing in exile. Target player exiles a card from their hand, and they have nothing in exile. Not sure what happened there? Weird. Anyway, hey Brian, remember when you said you couldn't cast another Karn? You totally could have. Oh, it's under Karn, it's an Ulamog. So, I think it's important to get Chalice down, and then we'll swing with Nightveil Spectre. Okay, we'll just pass. We took down Tron. That's amazing. Oh, that's so much fun. All right, let's go for another one. All right, back for game 2. We lost the die roll, in case anyone's wondering. Our opponent mulls to 6. We have a hand that does very little. So turn 1, we don't have a spell until turn 3, and if we don't have an effect till turn 4, I don't think so. Okay, we could play with this. At least we have things to do. Put back the island. And trust our 24 land deck will provide us with another one. Opponent plays a Windswept Heath and passes. We find our land. Okay, that's good. We'll play out Marsh Flats because we're going to get a dual land anyway, and we'll yield through the turn. Opponent cracks Windswept Heath. How is it burn? Finds a Sacred Foundry. Actually, no. Windswept Heath would be really weird to play in burn. It's got to be like Zoo. Like, I'm expecting a 5/5 Kavu right about now? Oh, is it like taxes? Okay. Scry 2? Scry 2, okay. I think this is the Boros taxes list with a whole bunch of like flicker effects, which means, Solitude will be annoying, but it doesn't have a ton of things that, spits back in our face. So we'll go get a Watery Grave. All right. Oh yeah, no, they have 71 cards in their deck, so that's a Urion taxes list, huh? Oh, and there's a Urion. Haha, Brian needs to pay attention to the board state. We'll play Polluted Delta. We'll just siphon Insight at the end of their turn. I mean, Texas does have quite a few good cards, so if we can find their Solitude, that'd be great. Yeah, you can hit us for 2, I don't care. Charming Prince is on the low end of the threat scale, if I'm being honest. And I say that as a long time. I realize no one who watches this channel has ever seen me play taxes because I don't own Solitude. I don't hate myself enough to play like that. Heliod. Boogity. Well, nothing we could do about you. We might just get comboed out. But in the meantime, we'll just go get a basic island, and we'll try and play some of their deck. What does your deck have that we would like to play? March of Otherworld. What is this exile? That can exile an enchantment, huh? Yeah, I like March of Otherworldly Light. So we need to get to 4 mana before we can exile Heliod, but we can exile Heliod because it needs... Yeah. So this turn, if I'm doing my math right, we can get down one of our creatures. Because even if he plays a 2/2 Walking Ballista next turn, he can't give it lifelink. So we'll play Thief of Sanity, And then we already know what we're doing next turn. We're March of Otherworldly Lighting Heliod. I mean, I guess if he has March of Otherworldly Light and a Sacred Foundry, it wouldn't be unreasonable to think our Blood Moon. Oh no. Well, we have a basic in our hand, so that's not the worst thing. You want to hit us with Pram? We're not going to block. That's fine. Oh man, this deck does kind of get crunched by Blood Moon, but luckily we had our basics in our hand. Hostage Taker. Well, it still doesn't change anything. Exile any number of white cards, then click Cast. Current mana cost is cast. Done. Okay, that Midgo has a lot of weird things, but we made Heliod go away, which is more important than the Blood Moon, because we can pretty much play everything in our hand but Gonti, and we have Thief of Sanity on the field, so that's fine. It's a Soul Sister. The Soul Sister might even be more important. Yeah. Because they can, if they somehow bring back Thraben Inspector, I'm not worried. If they have Soul Attendant and they have, that's annoying. Actually, we get to take it with Hostage Taker, don't we? So we get to get all our stuff back. That's the thing about taxes. All of their cards are so good that when they're turned against you, it's infuriating. And that's another reason why you don't see me playing a lot of taxes, because Ragavan runs train on that deck. All right, you're mine. And then we get a 3/3. Neato Burrito. And then you can even run out Soul Attendant way too late to have gained life, because Brian's bad at Magic. If you get salted off by misplays, maybe give this week a pass. I'm not here enough to play well. I'm a little under the weather. I feel like they would have... Ooh, Esper Sentinel. That's actually not much of a problem. We have plenty of land at this point. And we get to Skyclave Apparition, the Blood Moon. Another Hostage Taker. Well, that's for later. So we'll cast this with... well, we're getting rid of Blood Moon. So we probably want to crack Delta while we have the chance. So we can do it like this and take that. I mean, everyone's gaining life all over the place, but it's not a major problem. All right, so now we can crack this and get, I guess if we want to keep doing what we're doing, we'll get a Swamp and we'll Thoughtseize. And we'll pay the 1 so they don't get to draw a card. Oh, and they give up. Okay, so against big old Yarian taxes stuff, the Damnation is good. The Prismatic Endings aren't even bad. Pris Endings are good. Fatal Pushes are fine. Thoughtseizes are good. Counterspells are okay. Drowns are good. Siphon Insights are always kind of ish. Xanathar's our finisher. Gonti's good. Hostage Taker's amazing. So Nightveil Spectre seems like the first thing to nip. And I actually think we take a Thoughtseize. And I think we run it like that. So we have our Pris Endings in, because they're a creature-based deck, so that gets rid of some of their stuff. We did... Okay, you know what? We're gonna split the difference here. We're gonna take 2 Fatal Pushes out, and we're gonna put 2 Nightveil Spectres back in, because we don't want to take out too many creatures. Alright. 2 lands, and then a whole bunch of high drops. Our opponent is beginning with 7, which is not a good sign. So yeah, if we draw lands and we curve out, this is fine. If we don't, we got a game to lose. It's a greedy keep, but we'll see what happens here. If they play Aether Vial, we're probably dead. Oh, Esper Sentinel, that's fine. That's fine. All right, we don't have to make a decision yet because we don't want to drop anyway. Hey, this could have been a Fatal Push. It's almost like that would have been great, Brian. Soul Warden, that's fine. They can ping us a little bit. If we draw a land, we're in good shape. If we don't draw a land, we'll probably sit here and die. Hey, we did the thing. We actually want to draw more lands, so we'll just play this on blue, and we'll pass. Probably killing the Soul Warden or countering whatever they do. I mean, we might not. We might just... We'll see what they do. I mean, they get to draw a card if we kill something, and I don't think that's worth it. Ooh, is this Blood Moon, though? Oh, it's just Ranger Captain. That's fine. I guess we're really trying to Damnation at this point. If we draw the 4th land, we'll just play like we're good at Damnation. So that involves taking 1 massive hit, but it's not too bad. Nor in the Wary. That's fine. All right, so we want to draw another land. Field of Ruin. We did it. Okay, so we have to avoid dying to Heliod combo now, because we're not playing out a creature because we're gonna Wrath next turn. We can drown something though. All right, so this is a big swing, but that's fine. We've got life to spare. Ooh, big god. Can't counter that with Drown in the Lock, unfortunately. So he's just gonna get us with God Thing that we can't actually heal. We're gonna go get, I'd say with this hand, we have to get a basic because Blood Moon's a thing. Let's just get a Swamp, it's fine. And then we have Field of Ruin, and then we sweep the board. You get to draw a card, but luckily for us, we get to 3-for-1 you. He gets to Norin, so Norin will deal me 4 each turn, which is a lot, but not a ton we can do about gods, especially 4-drop gods when we didn't have counter spell in hand. There's Norin, so I get dealt 2. Soul Attendant, so there goes Norin. I get dealt another 2. So Norin just kind of disappears and kills us, I think. Because we can like play Hostage Taker, but that doesn't do a ton. We can, yeah, no, I think we're just dead here because we can drown something. So like we pay 2 to then, no, we could pay 3 total. So we could really only do one thing, or Field of Ruin and drown, which is not great. No, we're just gonna scoop here. We're dead. All right. The problem with these decks that are like a million cards, you really don't have a way to get around kind of what they're doing here. I think we bring in those. I think we take out 2 endings because cutting them off of their 1-drops seem important. Brutalities don't even seem awful. Their creatures all seem kind of piddly. What do we take out for Brutality, though? Probably a Siphon Insight. Maybe even a Drown, because they go off without putting much in their graveyard. Let's take out 1 Drown. I'll put in these 2. And we'll see if we can win now that we're on the play. Priz Ending, no way to cast it. Counterspell, no way to cast it. Elected Brutality, Fatal Push. If we draw a land, this hand's fine, so let's risk it. Because like turn 1, we could just play this, and then whatever he plays turn 1 will Fatal Push, and then turn 2, we can Brutality something. Okay, it doesn't have a 1-drop, so that's good. Chalice, okay, perfect. Play on blue, Chalice on 1, that cuts us off our Fatal Push, but we still have Priz Ending. We just need to find a 3rd land now. Come on, land. Counterspell. Okay, well, I guess we can we'll wait on Collective Brutality. We can pitch things that we can't cast and actually take out creatures with our Collective Brutality, but let's see what they do here, because they can just play the 3-drop dude and get rid of the Chalice, the Skyclave Apparition. Blood Moon? Flicker Wisp. That is very unfortunate. We can't do anything about that because we don't have 2 blue. Good news for us, though. Let's kill that stupid thing. And now we can't play 0-drops. Castle Lochthwain. Okay, well, let's get the party started. Or at least we'll play the party while we can still play it. Their hand must be full of 1-drops. So I'm anticipating a whole bunch happening now. If we find any fetch, though, because if they just play Blood Moon, our Thief of Sanity then just starts trying to steal their stuff. And we still have Collective Brutality, which we'll be able to hopefully 3 for 3 of them by pitching these counter spells that we can't do anything with anyway. There's the Skyclave Apparition. So we get to kill that, we get to drain them, and we get to take a peek at their hand. I would also love to find colored mana. Thought Seas. Okay, well, unfortunately, I think we do this. So we escalate 3 modes. Choose opponent, choose creature, choose opponent. Discard the Prismatic Ending, discard a counterspell. Keep the counterspell hope alive for a hot second. We do want to get rid of Perforos, probably. Blood Moon's fine. We have a creature now, but we just died of Perforos, I think. Yeah, they got a lot. This is not looking great, if I'm being honest. So we'll get rid of Perforos, because we really don't have a way of killing that. But their hand is pretty stacked right now. Because I'm imagining next turn they Charming Prince. And that will let them... Ooh, they found a Ranger Captain. That's fine. I mean, here's the problem. We're kind of in top deck mode now, which is unfortunate. Rabbit Inspector, really? They must not own Ragavan. Punished. Super duper punished. So the only thing we can do is swing. Oh man, that's another thing with these Thief decks. If your opponent is playing the meta cards, which are by very definition the best cards, then you get to really go off. If they're only playing like these weird kind of fringy decks, it's not as powerful. All right, so we're giving our opponent free reign here. Rabbit Inspector, sure. Probably, I would imagine Charming Prince. Esper Sentinel. Norin, okay. We're We're just sitting here doing nothing, folks. And again, this comes back to this deck's lack of card selection. And I was looking at it, and I was like, well, the card selection is your opponent's cards, pretty much. So how do you do this? Because like we need to find a fourth land now. If we find the fourth land, like we're not even like super winning either, because they have a Solitude, and they could just Solitude our Hostage Taker and get their thing back. Drawing a card. Okay, Norn again. So there's our land. But again, like they have Solitude. So all we do is we get Solitude out of their hand. They're not dealing us a lot of damage. Let's leave the counterspell up for 1 turn. We might even chunk ourselves with Castle Lochthwain for 4, which is insane, but we need to find a way out of this. I'm just gonna swing and pass. Okay, well, we didn't do nothing for nothing, so there's the Charming Prince, and we'll pay the extra 1. Norin comes back. Come on, deck. Nightvale Spectre. That's not awful, and we might want to do that now before we can't. If they want to get rid of the Spectre, that's fine, because then the Hostage Taker can actually take something. If they draw a land, though, that's just a blowout. Skyclave Appetizer, sure. This puts us in another bad spot, because he takes the thing, and then we Hostage Taker the Skyclave, and he gets to do it again. So we need like a removal spell. A Wrath would be amazing. Prisending. That's so funny, game. So we can definitely Solitude. We're going to take 4. I think we just take 4. I think we might have blundered this one. Yeah, go ahead. Hit me. Oh, because he can also just cast Solitude now. He doesn't even have to, like... That's why he's holding it back. If we find a fetch land, we can do stuff. Yeah, no, we really can't afford to take 4. Gonti. Okay, Gonti's a thing. I mean, Gonti dies to Solitude, but, I mean, so does our Hostage Taker. So we'll take Soul Warden, and we'll cross our fingers really hard that we don't die next turn. Because he can Solitude Gonti, which is fine, which is what's going to happen. But we're not taking lethal yet. We're taking real close to lethal, but not lethal. Because now we can Hostage Taker the Solitude. But we really need to draw a card. Come on, draw land. If we draw land, we can kinda do this. Oh, but now he's got a Blood Moon, so now it doesn't matter. Yeah, no, that's a thing. That is a thing. So we drew the land, but now we can't cast Hostage Taker. Huh. So we die. No 2 ways around it. We got really far. If we had the ability to cast Hostage Taker, we could have taken the Solitude and survived a little bit longer, but it's one of those things where we just got outplayed there. And again, that's this deck. You really do live and die by how good your opponent's deck is. And while their cards are good, you know, we found Soul Warden. We didn't find another Solitude. We didn't find another Skyclave Apparition, both of which would have saved us. But you live and die by your opponent's deck. I mean, I think they're just going for style points now. March of Otherworldly Light. Yeah, no, that's game. All right, so, I mean, again, I didn't feel like that one was too bad. We lost by the skin of our teeth, so let's go for another one. Hey, want to guess if we won the die roll? Because we didn't. we rolled dice for quite a while, but we lost. Because we're not allowed to go first unless we lose. That is a rule of Magic Online. All right, now that I'm done whinging, this is fine. This is fine. I wish I had a dual land so we could Thoughtseize and then Counterspell next turn, but we'll have to settle with hoping that Drown in the Loch is good enough. Blood Crypt, that's never a good sign. Okie dokie. That's not the worst. Now, how much... This is clearly some kind of burn deck. This is some sort of sacrifice. Do we want to start at 15? Because then we do get Counterspell for turn 2. I guess no guts, no glory. This, at least, we know we're going to tempo them next turn. Plus, we understand what they're up to. Sacrifice deck. Yeah, get rid of the Bombarder. Because next turn, they don't have a play. Or at least they didn't have one in hand. Please don't have a play. Okay. Hooray! Serrated Scorpion gets in for 1. And then we leave up Counterspell. And hopefully we draw into something that's not a land. Gonti. I can live with Gonti. So we'll play the island and just pass. Most our opponent can do next turn is 1. They have the swamp, so they get to play a 3-drop. That's just how this is going to happen. Yep. Probably the messenger. Oh, I mean, I don't feel the need to do anything about that. I don't think they have anything. Do we want to kill the serrated scorpion? Probably not. Probably fine. Ooh, Thief of Sanity. So this means they get a Mayhem Devil down. But that's... They get to get a Mayhem Devil down, and then they get to probably ping down our stuff. Oh, man, this is unfortunate, but I think we have to pass. So they swing for 2, which is fine. Well, it's as fine as it can be. We've literally sat here and done nothing. Cool. That goes away, and we draw. A Flooded Strand. I think it's fine to actually... We want to stop drawing. We're done with lands. We're very done with lands right now. So if we can not draw this island, that'd be preferable. And I think we do just run out Gonti here. Oh. Hopefully we find something juicy. Not really anything of note. I mean, I guess we'll take the Zulapur because it gains some incidental life, but we kind of did 5 damage to ourselves thought seizing turn 1. Then again, them not having Goblin Bombardment felt pretty good. That's probably not good. Interesting. It was giving up on the Mayhem Devil. I would have thought Mayhem Devil was kind of important to this deck. And he gave up on a Goblin Bombardment when I'm at 10. Fascinating. Not attacking would be preferable. Ah, that's amazing. All right. So, what do we want to do? We can play Thief of Sanity and Zulaport. I don't think Zulaport actually does a ton. So let's just get Thief of Sanity down, essentially just as a blocker. And then we'll play the Swamp out, and we'll just hold up Drown in the Loch, because that means we can kill, like, Seasoned Pyromancer or something. Or if whatever they drew, if it's, like, really threatening, we can counter. So we're definitely bringing in Chalice. Exile up to 1, just make a Decayed Zombie. I mean, the thing is, they're doing enough to kill us. Oh, no. Well, luckily for us, we have a counter. So, I don't think we're terribly alive, but we, I mean, they didn't attack last turn. Maybe they'll make that mistake twice. Opponent, this is the guy across the table. Yeah, no, you should really do that. That is correct. All right, so we're definitely blocking there. But then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we block a Scorpion, we take another damage. So I think we have to block the Elemental. This feels bad, but it also feels like reality right now. Xanathar. Does that even save us? We can play out Xanathar. But then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess it might, in the long run, save us, because nothing else is going to do it. But we're just going to die from those stupid Scorpions. And if he finds another Goblin Bombardment, we're also dead. Zulaport Cutthroat. I think we die. So we're going to take 1 for each creature that dies. So we might as well block there. We can block there. We can block there. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we go to 1. Okay, he should really flash back that rotten thing, but he's not going to. What could save us here? Goblin War Marshal is not gonna do it, but we can play the Cutthroat. We can play the War Marshal. Ooh, okay. Village Rites, that's good. Killing the War Marshal? Question mark? No, because we want that. We actually have to kill Thief of Sanity because we need things to die for us to live. We drew lands. That doesn't help. Ooh, there's another Village Rite though, which would put us up to 3. What do we kill? We'll play a land. We kind of need the life, so we'll play Village Rites. What do we kill though? It feels bad, but we have to get rid of Gonti. We gain another life. We draw 2 more cards. We have a Drown in the Loch. Geralf's Messenger is on top of their deck. There's nothing we can do about that. So I actually think the Geralf's Messenger on top of the deck kills us, which is unfortunate. We really did give it our best here because it comes down. We lose 2 life. He swings. We have to block. We die. Yeah. So we lose 2 life. Then he swings in. Ooh, he could have just swung with everything, but I guess he is liking this game and would like it to continue. All right, let's do some math here. Do we want to crack the delta and go to 2? Probably not. Definitely not. We draw. Oh, we also get to play off our opponent's deck as well. Supernatural Stamina. If we swing in, they just don't block, though. There's no reason why they would. So I guess we can Field of Ruin and force them to shuffle. Get our Swamp. And now they just have a Swamp on top, which is actually better for us. And then we play out Thief of Sanity, which is just there to die to Geralf's Messenger. So So he swings with everything. We have to block. Yeah, we can't attack. I mean, it's our opponent's card that's keeping us in the game, though. So there's that. Yeah, just pass. So they draw a land, and they should really just swing out with everything. Yeah, okay. So can we live is the question. So we block there, we block there, we block here. We gain 3, they gain 3. We die to Geralf's Messenger. But okay, so actually we need the Goblin token to block over here then. And before damage, we need to kill their Zulaport Cutthroat. That's what we need to do. No, we need blue mana. So they get to gain 1 life, we lose 1 life. But now we gain life and we're still alive? I mean, by the skin of our teeth, but we're alive. All right, now it doesn't matter. Now it doesn't matter at all. We just want to... I mean, I don't see how we don't die here. Mog War Marshal. That's a start. Mog War Marshal is a start. Supernatural Stamina. I think we pay 2 mana and we siphon Insight. So we can get Supernatural Stamina off the top. Take Supernatural Stamina. Grave Carns. That's fine. We could just play that. Ooh, our own Serrated Scorpion. That's really good. A Castle Lochthwain. We can't do anything with that, but they're going to draw a land. And then we get to Supernatural Stamina our Scorpion and stay alive. But they're going to... Oh no, we have the goblins to take into effect that. So that's fine. We're alive by the skin of our teeth here, folks. Yep, there's the Lochthwain we knew about. And what else did they have? Oh no, they're just going to take damage to draw a card, which is probably correct. So they swing out with everything. You just want to swing with the Scorpions, that's also fine. Because we have the Gobbos. Cool. Goblin. We don't have our Cutthroat anymore, though. But we are okay for the time being. Please don't be... Okay, it's a land. So we have to play it. It's another land. Ooh, but we have a Siphon Insight. So we'll siphon our opponent. We have a Siphon Insight in the bin, too. Kerkeep. The top of their deck is Mayhem Devil. Sure. Top of their deck is a mountain. We still have Supernatural Stamina. We can Siphon Insight one more time. Another Supernatural Oh, unfortunately, the Staminas put it back under their owner's control, which means we would be giving the Serrated Scorpion to our opponent. Oh, no. They Lochthwain again? Yeah, got a 10. We are really rope-a-doping here, though. Solely based on our opponent's deck, however. They are attacking with everything, which is fine. But we go to blocks, and Xanathar takes out that. This just bounces off of that. This just dies here. Do they have their own Supernatural? Luckily for us, we have a counterspell. Guys, I don't think we're winning this game, but we'll keep trying. Nest Shambler. Ooh, and a Hostage Taker. That's super important. So we definitely have to Hostage Taker first, because that lets us steal their Scorpion, then play their Scorpion. So now the Scorpions are our Scorpions, not your Scorpions. Then from there, we'll play Nest Shambler, we'll play Wogmore Marshal, and they're just going to get a Nest Shambler, which is probably fine. Oh, can we play Kerkeep? We can play Kerkeep. We also get a Nest Shambler, and they get a land! It works! It's working! Guys, it's working! And then we get to just attack like this. We get to take a pretty big chunk out of them. Man, this is so much fun. Now they're on one. So we stole so much from our opponent. We stole a win. That's so dumb. All right, Chalice, you gotta come out. All right, Brutalities, yeah. Damnation, yeah. Presendings, very much so. What comes out though? I guess if we're bringing in the Presendings because of Chalice, we can take out the Fatal Pushes. Is Damnation even that good? Maybe we don't do Damnation. And Thought Seizes are only also kind of okay. So if we nip a couple of Nightveil Specters as well. And now we just need to do one more thing. One of the Thought Seizes? Because of the Chalices? This might not work, but I was sure, I was positive we were gonna lose last game. But that is stealing a win quite literally. All right, what do we have here? No blue mana. Mull, this doesn't do anything. Okay, so it has a prismatic ending and 2 counters, but then it does nothing. This is brutal. Okay, so put this back, put a counter spell back. And now we can Collective Brutality and Counterspell. They don't have a turn 1 play, which is good. We can play a Delta, so we're even okay. We're not great, but we're okay. If they play a creature, we can pitch something and try and upset their hand a little bit. Is this a Thoughtseize of some sort? Oh, if this is Goblin Bombardment, that's awful. Oh no. Unfortunately, yeah. That, I think, wins them a game. I mean, not outright. They need to do other things first, but let's see what we get here. Punished immediately. Oh my god, we were drawing an answer and then Brian duffed it. So we'll just play the Watery Grave untapped, and hopefully our counter spell will save us for a second. Please just be a 3-drop. Yes, okay. Well, we get to stop you. Those of you laughing at home, you have my permission too. This is awful. Okay, so let's set up Thief of Sanity. And if they Mog War Marshal it off the field, they Mog War Marshal it off the field. This is... Ugh. Brian, you put 4 Prismatic Endings in the deck. You had a chance to go get a white mana, and you didn't. Ooh, it's Scorpy Boy. So we can kill the Scorpion with Collective Brutality, take a peek at their hand, and drain, which is probably the most important part. Unless we find a fetch land, in which case we'll just get rid of Goblin Bombardment. Oof. Oof. So spicy, so hot. Because now it gets to make the 2 red creatures, which then get to just kill Thief of Sanity. Our opponent is playing a good deck. It's just... Oof. When you're not playing against meta stuff and you have a deck like this that's a meta slayer, it's tough. We'll just take the damage and force them to use both of the elementals to kill, because we would take the same amount of damage anyway to kill the Thief of Sanity. But we would love to draw a white source to get rid of Goblin Bombardment. Fetch land, fetch land, fetch land. Castle Lochthwain is not a fetch land. So, guess we do play Castle Lochthwain. We Collective Brutality. We want to do 2 or 3 We're not going to find the stupid lands. Let's just do all 3. We'll give up on the Prismatic Endings because I'm bad at Magic. Okay. Don't know why he didn't sacrifice it, but I'll take it. Yeah, this one's getting away from us. He could just play Mayhem Devil and deal us 1,000,000 damage. So the fact that I'm empty-handed is a real bad sign. Even if we got rid of Goblin Bombardment, the Mayhem Devil would cause problems now anyway. Going for Drolf's Messenger? Really? Zulaport Cutthroat. Brutal. Yeah, we got dismantled here. This is 100% my punt. Oh, no blockers. I'm yielding through the turn. I have very little time because I'm bad at Magic and I play slow. Yep. And then he just domes my face, domes my face. Ay. I mean, a Hostage Taker would be nice right about now. If we draw the fetch land, though, I'd feel awful, but what are you gonna do? No words. No words. No tears, only dreams. Can he kill us? Yeah, no. If he plays Mayhem Devil, he can kill us. Let's see if he figures that out. Because if you play Mayhem Devil, swing with everything, and then sacrifice stuff to Goblin Bombardment, we take 2 per sacked thing. Yeah, he got us. He got us good. We'll let our opponent have his fun here. I mean, truth be told, this match should be over. The insanity that was last match was really good. Yep. Bang, bing, 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 bing. All right. So, what did we learn? Guess we learned that Thoughtseize is kind of important. So we'll take out a counterspell and put that Thoughtseize back. Chalice of the Void would have been great. If we remember how to play with Prismatic Ending, that'll be good. But I think that's about it. Yeah, I don't think at any point do we want Damnation. I feel like that just kills us. So Brian, I'm talking directly to myself. Get white mana. No, too many lands. Can't do white mana things because I don't have any, so I guess we put that on the bottom. Because like turn 1, just play Swamp. Turn 2, Clearwater Pathway. Turn 3, hope that their Siphoning Insight is helpful. I mean, if they don't have a turn 1 play, that's also great for us. Nope. They appear to have a turn 1 play. What is it? Scorpion. That's fine. All right. Play Clearwater Pathway. Draw a useless counterspell and ship the turn. So we're hoping with our Siphon Insight, we actually want to, yeah. I mean, I guess we could Drown in the Loch too, but I doubt that's where we want to be. No, go ahead and hit us. It's fine. I mean, if he doesn't have a second land, then we might kill the Scorpion. Otherwise, we might just Siphon Insight and try and take it from there. But he might just be going straight to combat to try and bait me into killing that thing. But 1 damage and 3 damage is not all that much difference. Or 2 damage and 3 damage, more accurately. Don't have a land. Go right to end. Darn it. Okay. So, If it's Goblin Bombardment, we have to Drown in the Loch. And that means our turn 3 is a kind of off-turn Siphon Insight. Then again, our opponent doesn't have a ton of, like, Haymakers anyway. Like, Drolf's Messenger would probably be the best for us. But then again, Drolf's Messenger comes back on his side when it dies. So I guess Mayhem Devil's, like, the best thing we could possibly pull out of his deck. Mog War Marshal. We'll try and stem our bleeding a bit. Tempo him out. Another Siphon Insight. Okay, well, we made our land drop, which is cool. And now the only thing we have is Siphon Insight. And we hope that next turn we draw a land to get down Gonti. Just a Nest Shambler. That's fine. And what's the second thing? Rotten Return. Okay, that's fine. That only hits us once. All right, end step. We see if we can save ourselves with their deck. I think we actually want the Swamp. As hilarious as that is, we want the Swamp. Prismatic Ending. Well, that's not great, but Gonti will give us another bite at the apple. Zulaport. Zulaport 1,000 times Zulaport. Okay, so now we just pass. We're going to get hit pretty hard next turn, but they missed a land drop, which is good. They missed 2 land. Oh, no, they only missed 1 so far. I'm just about to return again. 2, yeah. Surprised this doesn't have to exile a creature. This looks like a Mayhem Devil. Seasoned Pyromancer. Even worse. All right, so again, we find ourselves wanting, we want a fetch land. Yeah, no, sure, I'll snap that trade. Absolutely take 2. Flooded Strand. Okay, so now we can go get a white, probably the Fountain. Yep. And we get to, first things first, play out a Cutthroat. Then white, black, blue, exile the Pyromancer. We're not in the best of spots right now, but we're in an okay spot. We'll leave Gonti on defense. We go straight to combat, which is a good sign. Them finding lands is scary, though. Mayhem Devil is bad. Not super bad, but unfortunate. Another Nest Shambler, okay. I mean, if we just make faces across the table from each other, I feel like I win that contest. Because I have a counterspell and can stop their major things from happening and a Siphon Insight. So we don't have to do a thing right now. We just pass and see how many Siphon Insights we get to cast. Nope, you don't get to have one of those. So I guess the answer is 0. Oh no! That's really bad. I think we just lost. I don't know why he went to attacks now, though. I feel like he should have pinged down our creatures, just, you know, 1, and then 1, 2, 3, and then attacked for 5. And that would have put us pretty behind, because we counterspelled the Zulaport, which allowed him to get Goblin Bombardment down. Oh, he's not attacking at all. Well, his discretion is our benefit. Just going face. Interesting that he's going face. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy I'm not taking 2 each time this happens, but I feel like you could have attacked and just sacrificed the creatures you didn't. Oh, are we just dead? Oh no, we're not just dead. We could be at like 1, but he's learned before that doesn't quite do it. We've come oh, how'd he do that? Oh, we're dead. I guess because the Nest Shamblers. Okay, well, guys, we stole a game from this one, so that was really fun. But yeah, our opponent is just doing a slightly more coherent thing where he's trying to do his own plan, and us stealing his plan wasn't as good. But I think I got one more in me. Let's take another bite at the apple, see if we can't go even. All right, Magical Christmas Land. We won a die roll. This hand's actually even pretty good. We're starting out on 15, though, because we're going to turn 1 Thoughtseize, but assuming we draw into land in our 24-land deck, we can really show them who's boss. Oh, is it Tron again? Well, we did so well last time. Take the map. Let's see if it was a fluke last time, or if this deck is just good against Tron. We'll find out together. So next turn, he gets to Stirrings. A Polluted Delta. I guess we actually want more land, so we'll just do this, and then we'll Siphon Insight at the end of their turn. I mean, again, against Tron, there's not a ton we really want to grab other than their small stuff, but then again, like, taking out things like their Ugin so that there are Ugin is fun. Find Boseiju. I'm sure that's not exactly what they wanted to do. Played the Mine, played the Relic, so we only know about the Boseiju in their hand. Everything else is up in the air. Sure. Don't do anything with my graveyard opponent. All right, they're scooping, so let's go ahead and just zoop. What you got for me? I guess we'll take a Sylvan Scrying. A Drown in the Loch. So they've actually played enough stuff where that might even happen. Let's see. Chromatic Star. No, I feel like we can't. We do the spell that they play off the star, not just the star itself. Ancient Stirring. I think that's a juicy enough target to counter. Stop them from getting Tron would be nice. That's fine. I got another Siphon Insight in my hand anyway. Oh no, he fizzled it by relicking. Aha, ha ha ha. Oh man, what's it like? Oh, and he gets to get Tron. Oh boy. That's just magical Christmas land. And by that I mean he's playing a real deck. Land, Gonti. Cool. So we go ahead and do our own Sylvan Scrying. This weird version where it wants us to specify how we do it. We don't need any, I guess we'll get a blue. And we'll Siphon Insight again at the end of their turn. But they could just, you know, run train on us with like an Ugin or something right now. Just looks like Karn, yeah. There's Karn. That's neat. Exile a land. Oh, just a card from my hand. Sure, you get a Gonti. And we Siphon Insight. Wormcoil Engine might even happen. Might. Not guaranteed. Nightvale Spectre. Well, clearly we just play out Gaunts and hope we can find something of note. Like an O-Stone. An O-Stone would be really cool right about now. Karn the Great Creator, Karn the Great Creator. Well, it's clearly Karn the Great Creator. I don't know if we survive long enough, because this can just exile a permanent, right? Yeah, so that's just Karn bait, is what that is. That is bait. It really does show you, though, like, this deck, I don't think is all that great against Tron. I think just Chalice is good against Tron. So I think in situations like this, where you have, you know, our deck that's really off the wall, but you also have Chalice, you can really show them. Oh, they have their own Karn. So the top of their deck was just 3 Karn the Great Creators in a row. Liquid Metal Coating, so no fun pretty soon. Actually, we get to play our own Karn the Great Creator to be annoying. Actually, I take that back. We don't get to do diddly. We get to get Troned out and like it. Sylvan Scrying. Again, fun that they found that, considering that we put one of those to the bottom of their deck and then we cast one. In the top 20 cards, they had everything that they could possibly dream of. Sure. It's probably fine. Even if we draw a land. So he's going to start blowing up lands. So I think we do have to try and take a stab at Tiny Karn here. Really? Ooh, this is a beating. Let's play out our thing. See, this we kind of fizzled here, guys. We really needed the Drown in the Lock to work, but it did not. And now we lose to Tron. Yield through the turn here. Another Karn Liberated or something? This looks like Ugin. Yeah, we're done here, folks. This game's over. Okay. Well, the good news is we know Chalice is good, and we know Negate is good, and we know Fatal Push has no targets. And we'll put in Mystical Dispute, maybe because it'll do something. Maybe. Who knows? Could do anything. And now we hope to find Chalice. We hope our hand is Thoughtseize, Chalice, land, Drown in the Lock counterspell, or something like that. You know, if I'm writing down my requests, that is what I'm officially requesting from this deck. Hey, it listened, minus the Thoughtseize, but hopefully they don't have a turn 1 play. So we'll just play out Castle Lochthwain, because we don't have a T1 anyway. Next turn we have Chalice. Don't do it. Don't. Man. Okay. So unfortunately, it looks like they get to have Tron regardless, which is, you know, unfortunate, but it is the risk we take. So we'll just run out Chalice. Also, who thought Boseiju should be the one of those land spell dudes that was super easy to cast? So they do have Tron. Okay, so I guess we're asking for Field of Ruin now. Drown in the Lock. Not really the same thing. And we can't drown anything anyway. But we can play out Flooded Strand and pass, because we do have a counterspell. Because now they're in Haymaker mode, which is bad for us. Alright, let's see what their Haymaker is. Well, luckily for us, we have a counterspell. I mean, again, we can't possibly do this every turn. Yeah, our life is kind of irrelevant at this point. Man, I wish those drowns were better counterspells. Mystical Dispute. So we'll actually play this on blue, and we'll just pass, because Mystical Dispute might get them again, unless they play a tower. Darn it! Oh, man. Maybe we could force them to tap other things. I guess that's the best Mystical's gonna do. Slow them down a wee bit. Yeah, so now Wormcoil Engine was their entire turn. I don't think we have anything for Wormcoil, though. Siphon Insight. Well, it looks like it's our best chance. Can your deck help? Sylvan Scrying and a Power Plant. So we'll take the Scrying, because at this point we just want to get stuff out of our deck. Our life total matters a little bit more now. Oh, we can get Field of Ruin. Well then. That sort of changes. I mean, horse is already out of the barn. They have a Wormcoil engine, but at least we can do something, you know? We really have no way of taking care of Wormcoil engine outside of a hostage taker, but Thief of Sanity, not quite, guys. So blow up, say, the power plant. Get a swamp. Play Thief of Sanity, essentially just as a chumper. They're going to have so much life that even if we do manage to win this, it's going to be such a brutal struggle. 32. Another Drown in the Lock. Oh man, those are so bad. All right, just Thief of Sanity. Be a speed bump. We really need Hostage Taker. Real bad. Or Gonti. Gonti would even be okay. Please be something. Thought Seize is not exactly what I'm going for here, folks. Siphon, again, can you help us, opponent? Chromatic Star, Karn Liberated. Well, we're only at 5 mana, and we're not playing a land this turn. So I guess it's Chromatic Star. Oh, but we can't play Chromatic Star. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. We're so dead. Yeah, and they're not playing anything out for us to drown that stupid Wormcoil, so unless we can find a way to get something in there. Oh, okay, perfect. So now with our drowns, we can slowly take care of the Wormcoil problem. Land? Land. Okay. So the way this is going to work, we're going to wait until he attacks, and then we're going to drown the Wormcoil engine. Then we can drown the tokens. Okay, so that saved us for a turn. Not for very long, but for a turn. Karn the Great Creator. So if we let this go, he can get something that kills us. If we don't let this go, we die. Oh, man. Fortunately, I think we have to kill that, which means this no longer matters. Let's go get a grave. We need, like, Xanathar. Another Chalice does not do it, but yeah, because we have no Siphon Insights. We'll play this on 3 just because we can. I mean, we die, but let's just play a fatty Chalice for funsies. And we'll let our opponent beat us to death. So that's a thing. Yeah. The old 1 in 3, huh? You know, I think that's enough of this deck for me, guys. I will see you in the wrap up. Okay, so what have we learned about this Thieves deck? It's really fun. It can do really cool things. It doesn't necessarily do really cool things. So as you saw, we beat Tron, and then we lost to like 2 goofy decks, and then we lost to Tron. So who knows? But it can do goofy things. It can steal games here and there. This is very much not a, you know, I'm going to win sort of deck. This is just a I want to do something funny kind of deck. And is it better than the budget version? I don't know. I think it really depends on what you're up against. If you're up against Murktide, if you're up against Tron, if you're up against things that have just these uber powerful spells, then yeah, you're going to be fine. But the problem going up against things like Tron is you require so much mana. But yeah, at the end of the day, this was a fun evening playing a silly deck, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, or if you have any decks you want me to play. I do have an email. It's HeyDummyPlayThis@gmail.com. That's HeyDummyPlayThis@gmail.com. I can't promise I'll play everything you send, but I will take a look at it. I'm essentially governed by budget here. But yeah, thank you guys for coming along for the ride, and I hope to see you next time. Later.